Okay, let's see how this works. Oh boy. I think I'm on. Am I rolling? Okay, cool. All right, guys. Sorry for this interruption. Let me give you my startup little thing again. Right there. This is day 29, 17 April 2020. This is Future, Winter Future. And I want to introduce you to the CC International Academy. It's just a work in progress, and it's the antidote. It's the antidote I'm using mostly, as well as sanitation and distancing and nutrition. Sanitation, distancing, and nutrition. The three things. Am I straight? See, I'm my own technician today. Okay. All right, I'm going to get started today with. I'm going to get started today with some warm-up. I'm going to tell you all about it later on, but I'd like to get into it first, get the flow going, and play. Well, you'll see. It's a blindfold test. Okay, guys. I think that's it. I want to see how you're doing, and then I have a sign off for you. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Martin. Thanks for tuning in again, man. Nice to see you. Lara, thank you. Nice to hear you again. Armin, thank you again. All you guys. Mateo from Spain, thank you. Joy, thank you for tuning in. Diane, thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Nancy, all right. Usama, all right, man. Thank you very much. Shinichi, all right. Lyndon, you guys are great. All right, I want to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing now, because I'm now preparing for the next step of let me see if I can gather my mouth and my tongue to talk to you a bit. This past month, 29 days, has been a total joy for me, and it's been a real learning experience, both inwardly for me and as well outwardly with you all. And then the response of my friends to what's been happening on the Facebook communication that we've been happening. There's been a lot of thought and a lot of positive emotion, and a lot of plans, a lot of new ideas have come out of this for me. My basic premise is in music has been since about 1971, when I first made my first piano solo album. My basic premise has been to communicate and to want to connect, because I feel that is the completion of something just bigger than just me as one single individual. There's by now, what is there, 9 billion of us? I don't know the number on this planet, and who knows what's out there? I'm sure there's life. Anyway, life is life. Life is live, and the fun of it is the doing of it. The fun of life is getting involved, doing it, and then being of help to others. I find that that's a big part of my fulfillment, is that when I know that I can cause a positive effect on Gail, on my wife, on my son and daughter, Thaddeus and Liana, on all our friends and everyone who I work with, all of my musician friends for sure, and everyone. We're all in it together. And so I get fulfilled by knowing that I can contribute something. So these 29 days have helped me gather together really an old intention, a real old intention of mine, which is an intention to want to contribute and to want to help. I mean, I can always get on by myself and practice and write new music and have fun with my instruments and so forth. But that alone would be a very lonely life to me. And unless I can take that joy that I get out of making music and share it with others and do it with others, that's why I like group music. That's why I like to play with my trio and with my Spanish Heart Band and with all of my my friends, my amazing. I'm so honored and blessed and lucky to have so many amazing artistic musician friends that come and join me to play. So this is the richness of my life, and I'd like to be able to pass that on and continue to be of service to you. So I have toyed around with this idea. I've tried it in various ways. I wrote a book called A Work in Progress, and I tried to write down in the book things that I do to improve, techniques that I use, you know. It's all workshop stuff. That's why it's workshop. That's why I like to call this my workshop. So it's a work in progress. And I don't like the idea of being a teacher, because I don't think you can really teach art. You can't teach art. That's my philosophy. Because art, the perception of beauty, I made a recording actually called well, it was on Eternal Child, the Eye of the Beholder. It's the eye of the beholder, and it's true. It's that beauty and creation. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's in you. You create your beauty, and so it's impossible to teach art, because art is a subjective thing. But there are techniques. There's techniques to be able to produce a good piano sound, to choose a good piano, to play an instrument well, to read music. What's the value of reading music notation, this kind of thing. So my friends and people who have come to my shows all through the years, and I get a lot of mail and fan mail and young students asking me a lot of questions. So that was the eventual result of that was my book, A Work in Progress, which was basically answering the various questions and areas, all of which are the same. We all have the same areas. We want to know how to play our instrument better. We want to know how to compose. We want to know how to improve our spontaneity at improvising. You know, we want to know how to arrange music. Many different things. How to keep a work day together. You know, what's the ethics of being a musician? That kind of thing. So I toyed around with many ideas. I tried. There are many video workshops that I did years ago that are still there, waiting to be shared. But I came up with a new idea, and the idea is, you know, we bandied around the term school. It's not a school. What I do to share. It's not a university. It's not teaching. I don't know what to call it. So in order to give it a dignified term, something that people could recognize that this is, like I've been calling this my workshop. You know, come and you're invited to my practice. Well, there are various levels of that, depending on how much of a professional musician you want to be, or just a listener to music, you know. But I came up with, I'm formulating with a few of my friends the idea of an academy. That's why I wrote down what I wrote today. Welcome to CC Academy International. It's Corea Academy International. Now I'll show you this. This is what I wrote. I think I showed you this the other day. Right. Theory, performances, and workshops. And there's the definition of an academy. It's an association for the advancement of music and art with special instruction or training in a subject. And in this case, the subject is music. So there's theory, how you think. Theory is basically how you think about the concept that you have. That's the thinking part, the theory. You formulate ideas. And from those ideas, you do practical work to realize the ideas. And those are the balancing of knowledge is you have theory, you think about it, you have a concept, and then you produce something. So that's what the Academy is based on. And I'm now working hard to get that multi-camera thing really perfected that we tried one time. And it went pretty well, but I've got a little bit more work to do with it. So for now, I'm gonna finish off this chapter of the daily live streams. I'll be back though. I'm not going to stop the live streams. I need time now to really formulate the next presentation for you guys and for whoever wants to tune in. And that's what I'll be doing in these next days. By the way, I've been recording everything not everything. The past 10 days or so, I've been recording. I have microphones here on the piano, so we've got good recordings of for whatever use that'll be. So I'll definitely let you know what I'm up to. But for now, I really want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for hanging in there with me, becoming a group like it seems like we have. I recognize so many of your names every day from all around the world. It's another blast, like a couple of you mentioned, that it's an international thing. It's really like everywhere. People are joining us, even though it's not a huge group. People are joining us from everywhere, and that's very, very beautiful, because that's what I do when I travel. I'm in Europe, I'm in South America, I'm in Japan and Korea and Indonesia and the Orient. I've been to China several times. Eastern Europe I traveled to. I've been, unfortunately, I haven't been to Africa enough. I want to come back to Africa to play. I've been to Australia. So people have been tuning in all over, from all over the United States, all over the world. It's an international group. We all share the one thing of art and music, and the joyful creation of life, and that's what we're all into. So that's what brings us together, and that's what will keep us together, and that's what will get us through this period now. These are the three things I consider, mechanical things I consider important, because it's really gonna eventually do it. It's keeping all of the sanitizing rules in 100%. Do them 100%. Keep them in. The second thing is the social distancing is a logical and reasonable way, understandably, to not spread the germ, right? But the third way has not been spoken about too much, which I'm going to give you one time. I'm not going to give a big lecture on this, but it's been my own personal success to use a plant-based diet. Keep your immune system really strong. My cheap advice, everyone has different tastes. This is definitely not a lecture I'm going to get into in the future. I'm just going to mention it once. Is eat as much vegetables and good green plant-based food. Cut down on the meat and the cheese and the sugars and thing, and strengthen your immune system. It's a big positive plus. So those are the mechanical factors, but the factor that we've been working on these workshops is the spiritual factor. This is the real antidote. This is the one that keeps life alive, and it's art and music and the creation of beauty, whether you're a professional at it or not. It just keeps life growing. So keep that positive attitude and keep creating something. While you're home, you'll figure out, I'm sure you've all figured out what you can contribute and what you can create, and just keep on creating. And I will see you all soon. So once again, thank you. Lots of love. Stay healthy, and we will talk soon. Take care.